Eis Zayin. So now we explained all the stages of Pischel Kichudash Amachat Nenachesi, Rayosi, Yoinosi, Tamosi, you complete me, Maise Bepeo. All beginning, as he underscores at the end of Eis Vav, all beginning and threaded literally by the Avoid of Kichudash Amachat. The Avoid of Bittul. In other words, it's not his quest for Shleimus, but it's all Tzad Avodas Hashem. It's quest for perfection. So the pasuk continues. And the pasuk continues this very pasuk. Shenoi roishi nimlotal. My head is full of dew. Kutzoi sayrasisei loila. My locks are the drops of the night. What does this mean? It's explained. What?
Like the hair?
Drops.
No, but
Locks of hair. Like the Rabbi Pinchas Reis writes in his record of, he didn't write anything himself, it's Al Tebes Memorim. So there he writes, being in Talmud, explaining the difference between dew and rain. And here the pasuk invokes dew, Roishi Nimlotal. My head is full with dew. Simple pshat, the pasuk I think is that the indication that he is there like waiting all this time, all night. Shemota nasal yidei zeh she'ed yali menoretz. How does rain happen? The pasuk says at the beginning of Bereshis that a mist arose from the earth, and that's how rain forms, and then the clouds form and the rain comes down. Which means beruchni shezeh inyan shetoli b'avodas hatachtonim. Rain is beruchnis, as the hashpah of Tomer of Motor is something which comes as a result of the avodah of tachtonim. It's got to ascend from below. That's what and then it comes. So Hashem says, if you keep my statutes there, Nazai, the pasuk goes on to say, I will give the rain in the right time because that follows your observance of my law. So this is a relationship, this is a Gilul Likus that starts when Avodas HaTachta. It's dependent and predicated on the avodah of a person down here. That's the union of what of rain. The Gemara says, tal is never withheld, dew is never withheld, which is why we're saying tal, we always mention tal in Shemoneh Esrei. Throughout the season, throughout the year, because it's always present, not only in the winter. Tal goes on a relationship with Hashem. That's irrespective of the conduct down here. So, where does this come from? It's an unconditional, essential love, not dependent on our avodah, or even lack thereof. And this is what the pasuk continues after going through the whole hemshech. Speaking. My head is full of dew. How is it that the final thing that the pasuk had said, that Hashem says to Ayid, you complete me, and that this, you complete me, like very essence as it were, the nisave, that should be drawn and expressed and revealed down here, mitzadin natal. That's not something that we could naturally elicit. That's Hashem's bestowal. Hashem's allowance and decision that we should affect Him, and that this so deeply, and that should be nimshach lamata. That is a gift from Hashem, the union of tal, dew. Moreover, another dimension. Clear? So the explanation now is that the tal Reishi Nimlatal is explaining how this can happen. How can you be Tamosi and this is all Nimshach Lamata? It's my gift to you, which comes from my unconditional love. Now he's going to explain that the Reishi Nimlatal is another Amshach. It's another Inyan. It's an additional Inyan. Namely, Shlach Ravidosi B'chol Inyan B'chaysi Rayosi Yenosi V'Sambosi. After the Yid goes through the whole Avodah of these 4 stages, as I noticed then heaven grants him. It's not just an explanation how for Tamosi, but it's another Hamshach, as it were. He gets not only that which he achieved, which he grasped and achieved through his avodah of awakening down here, he's given also that which is beyond his avodah. Namely, a level within Elikos, within the Eibishter, that no mice and no avodah down here can touch, could reach. And yet Hashem bequeaths it. So what is it? How do we get it? It's not that he's asking a kasha. He's just said in this line now that this is a level that avodah doesn't reach, and yet the pasuk is saying that through the avodah of achaysi rayosi yenosi sambosi you do get it. The pshat is it's nothing other than, or rather, once you do your thing, not that you elicit naturally, it's madrege. Then heaven gives gam pchinas sheroshi nimlatal. Hashem gives not as a cause and effect, but rather you do what you have to do, and I will give what I will give that is totally beyond your avodah. Now that's another dimension. It's
still the poem mamshech by the avodah, by the shleimus of the avodah.
When you say mamshech, you say you've reached it and you draw it down. It's not that. It's like a matana. And it's true, a matana is only given to someone, the Gemara says that you've done a favor to. But the matana is not a payment as a result. So yeah, there is. And that's because Hashem's desire is why he could give it without anything. But he wants it not to be entirely unearned. So there's this element of avodah. So this is what the pasuk is saying. Open for me like the point of the needle of Nasa. The Gemara explains. Hashem says, "Ani yaftach lachem ki piskei shel ulam." It's exactly this point here. It is the response, but the response is not an elicited midah keneged midah, but something totally beyond, and that's conveyed in what the Gemara is saying. You open for me, Hashem says, what? Like the point of a needle. And I will open for you like the entrance to the Heichal. Now it's not simply that it's a very large entrance. There's another nuance here. 20 Amasai. The point being, there's no doors. Through which the opening could be closed and sealed. It's ever present, always open. So this is a madrege, in other words, that is not a door, you open, enter, close. I'm giving it to you because I want to give this to you, and it's not telling you avoid, it's always available, as it were. This fact that there's no door that opens it, and it's ever presently open, means that it's coming from a madrege shenimshach me'atzmoi, that is, as it were, not dependent on avoid of the person. In the bracket, change also to have to magas shown that a person's awakening down here does not reach. Ella, here's the point you're saying. In order to get to the Pischei Shalom, to the opening of the Ulam, so you've got to make that journey. It's called Hasha'orim Shifnei, as a Begashmi, you have to walk through all the gates from the east to west, from west to east, to all the gates that lead to it. So therefore, after all of these stages and these are all gateways, then what you get is not commensurate to your avodah at all. That is called Enyonim Shirim Tzoyim Bolam, everything that's in the Ulam, which isn't, it means the Kodesh and Kodesh HaKadoshim, it's all what the Ulam leads to. The Leiman Niyas Kla without anything holding it back. Even Shein, Shom Delis, HaSeisim HaPesach, there's no door that can be closed, and that would be closed. So this is the beer of the Pasuk, till now. But the Pasuk continues. V'hinei calls everything we described till now. U'mayim HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'Knesses Yisrael. It's all Hashem talking to Yidden. Open for me, and Hashem is describing us as His sister, His nourisher, Ayosi, His dove, His wholesome one, or you make me complete. And I'll give you then Roishi Nimlatal, as explained, right, just presently. However, Yidden respond and they say to the Ebishesh Mitzad Zesh and Yishein Begoluso, because I am sleeping in Golos, because of our Golos-like state. Hine Pashatet, the Pasuk continues, Pashatet is Katointi, I've removed my shirt, my garment. How can I put it back on to greet you?
I don't understand how after the Avodah.
It's not after the Avodah, it's after Hashem asking the Avodah. This is what you got to do. This is what I'm asking for you, and this is what I'm going to give you. The Yid responds, I have no shaykhs to the holding yet. No connection. He explains that I've divested myself of my garment, of my bringimbas and my robe. Kedisa b'medrash says in Medrash on the pasuk shekatointi my garment to big day kahuna or big day malchus. It's a reference to the priestly garments and to the royal garments. What does it go on? It means mitzvahs, because mitzvahs are called garments, as we've learned. We encountered this several times in previous memorim. Every mitzvah creates another garment for the neshama. But Yidden is saying that I don't have it. Because of Golos, saying Golos kipshutai, literal Golos, the Golos, the environment which we are in. Ubefrat al Golos hayeser amok, and especially the deeper personal Golos. Mitzad hakel zor Hashem bekir b'cha, the foreign God which is in your midst. The Yitzhara, Shinyin our Golos, the Nevesh Shabbat Mitzvah Gov, this is the Golos, the personal Golos. That a person in the Shamba is in Golos, in his own Nevesh Shabbat is in Guf. How to be mind with the matzav shel shina. So the Yid is in a matzav of spiritual slumber. He doesn't see, which is soon. Raise your eyes heavenward and see who created all of this. He's missing that. He doesn't have hearing elikos, Shema Yisrael. He lacks all of the faculty which should be expressed and effective. It's all not there. And so much so, I have divested myself of my garment. He remains without the garments of kahuna and the garments of malchus shehem levusha mitzvahs, which are the garments of mitzvahs. So Moishe litoin, and the neshama continues to lament. How can I put them back on? The give and he's not accustomed to it in Yiddish. Sich abgewöhnt from them. He's removed himself from this conduct. He doesn't even know how he can come back to Torah mitzvahs. Friends, just to be remembered, I think I pointed this out. We learned this a number of years ago. This is Tov Shin Chof, 1960. What's happening now, this is the very beginning, the very, very beginnings of the unrest, and the tshuva movement that would begin, which the Rebbe is, Neshama said it so far, I don't even know how to come back. They don't have a history, a tradition of mitzvahs they can even remember. That's what this pasuk is saying. We'll see how the Rebbe, it's incredible, the words that come. The Rebbe cried a lot on this maamer. So here the Rebbe is addressing this, and it's obvious that in the maamer, the Rebbe is being mamshich the inyan, that it's, and creating, and being Raya Mehemda, the faithful shepherd, bringing the inyan down, and making it possible for all Yidden. This, the whole Renaissance, the whole Tshuva movement is here in this maamer. Mamshech because the pasuk continues. This is now the Eibishter speaking. Rachatzti es raglim, I have washed my foot. Eichecha tanfim, how can I sell it? What does it mean? The Eibishter say, I've washed my foot, my feet. How can I now dirty them? The Hinek Siv says in pasuk.
The Eibishter saying that?
Yeah, it's the Eibishter speaking. This is Yeshua's, I think, is seeing this vision. I saw the Eibishter sitting upon his throne, and all the hosts of heaven, all of standing by him. To his right and to his left. The Rebbe is saying, as we're going to hear now, that it's Bezdin Shamayla that says the right and the left, it's too late. Not possible. There are those on the right and those on the left. Michal Gavriel, Chesed Gvura. And therefore, now the Rebbe, look at footnote 90. Havola Kamon, what comes now, Amachakat Mushlita Bekel Chonek Ubebechi. Hashem, the Rebbe said this with a choking and voice and with tears. When heaven is informed by this Hamaim with the Matzav Lamata, the state of Eden down here, and the Pashatati is Katointi, that the Neshama cries out, I can't. I have removed my garment, I don't even know how to put it back on. So then comes Azebon Bidis Hadin. So the divine attribute of justice speaks up and says, Rachatzti es ragli, Rebbe said. I've washed my feet, Eichachat tanfeim, how can I sully them? Meaning, Dineksiv, the pasuk says, the heaven is my throne, and the Haaretz Hadoim ragli, and the world, the earth is my footstool. Ba'aretz Gufa, and in the world itself, where is the footstool of the Eibishter? It goes in the most sanctified place in the world, which is the Beis HaMikdash. All love name about which it says, make for me a place and I will dwell you. That's what happened, that's what should have remained. On the Mizman Golos. It comes Mana Golos, Kashani Yisheni Begolos, so the Yid is sleeping in Golos, page 417. Because Shabrichos Solik the top Leilo, the Eibishter has removed himself beyond and beyond to Enes Midisadin. So the heavenly attribute of Din argues, Rachatzti es ragli, I've washed my feet, I've removed my Davish to the Shechina. Madgord, it was the tongue. We no longer have what to do with mit naor, that's Hadim ragli, with the world as my footstool. It was destroyed. And how can I come back now in Golos and be sullied through being connected to Yid and in the solid state in Elam Hazin Golus. Ketzad yochel lachze v'lis ashos hashchina bebeis hamikdash. How could it be the Shechina coming back and down the Beis Hamikdash? And I feel like Musa. Even then it was an extraordinary chiddush, because even then when the moon was full meaning the 15th day of the month, the moon is full. And that goes on Bimei Shloimeh. Shloimeh Melech was the 15th generation from Avram. So then the moon, Yidden were in a state of shleimus, of fullness. But even then, the Amar Shamayim, Shmer Shamayim, Lo Yechal Kaluchat. Heaven and the heavens of heavens cannot contain you. Avki Abayis Hazeh, indeed this house, Bitmiya, in a rhetorical, wondrous way. So the Emes says that even, in other words, when the time of the Beis Hamikdash, that was not a natural thing that the Shekhinah should be revealed Lamata. But that was a world of time of Shleima Melech, Kaim Mesir Bashli Musa, when the moon is full, that means Yidden are fully aligned with the Eibishter and reflecting his divine light. So then it was a tremendous chiddush, but it happened. But now, Allah has come, but much more so now, Kashani Yishayna, when the Yid is in the spiritual slumber, Pashatat is Katonti, and I don't have the mitzvahs. Imkein says heaven, Eichachat Tanfim, how can I possibly, the Shechina, the Bezdin Shamayla, the Masmilim argue, Eibishter, how can you come back and be reconnected and sully yourself in the state of Golos where the Yid is found? So heaven says, yeah, they had the chance, it was an extraordinary opportunity, and they destroyed it. Then the pasuk continues. The pasuk says, my beloved sends forth his hand through the opening. Hainu, what does this mean? My beloved. The beloved is the one about whom the pasuk began with. The voice of my beloved knocks. What Eibishter knocks persistently in the heart of every Yid over the protests of heaven. This is the great love and the essential love. I love you, says Hashem, therefore. Notwithstanding, literally not looking. There are those on the right and those on the left. In other words, it seems that even the Maiminim, the ones on the right, Chesed, are also, they're silent, it looks like. The Maismilim are saying this is impossible. This cannot happen, it's over. And Maiminim are silent. So overriding that in Mitzad Goydel Ava, because of Hashem's great love, Sholach Doidi Yodim, never couldn't say these words. Sholach Doidi Yodim Menachor, he sends his hand through the opening. Hainu. She'ein Mamtin David does not wait, notwithstanding his plea, open for me, doesn't wait. Achi Pischili, he doesn't wait that the Yid should open up, as we described Halavayda. Elohu ba'atzma eisachur, he makes the opening. Shezeu k'meishom razal, and this is what it says in Medrash. Shechot elei chatir mitachas kisi Yaakov. Eibishter made, to look this up actually, but huh?
Is it like carved out?
Huh?
Carved out?
Yeah, I'm just saying what's the context. It means carved out. What the context there? It's in response to Avodas of Tshuva. It's a response to Aveda and Tshuva. The Eibishter carved out a place under the Kis HaKov, the greatest sinner. It goes on one of the kings, and I think Menashe. And therefore, Tshuva is always not just available, but Hashem grants it. In other words, the Tshuva is not our Tshuva. Shizel b'chinas nailis sheba. This is his lofty level. She'ein shlita klal ma'aminim ma'ismilim. This is within the Kisei HaKavod. It's a level where they have no rule, no say. Not the ones on the right, not on the left. Like it says in Zeis HaBrocha, Umitachas royis olam, and below, literally, his hands, his arms that embrace the world. Shedavkim b'chinas tachas, this level that's, which I said now, the engraved underneath the heavenly throne. B'tachas kisei hakovod, so yeshna b'china shelamaynim mekol shtei d'ishtalshalos. This expresses this level, it's totally beyond shtei d'ishtalshalos, that says this cannot happen, it's impossible, it's too late, it's ruined forever. V'nyonei shel churuzeh, and this opening, like they see as a nekev, is through piercing this hole b'machitza shel barzel, in the iron curtain, this iron division, shebein Yisrael avinu shebashamayim. It should be noted too that the Rebbe is addressing here not just American Jewry, but Russian Jewry. After all of these decades, that's clearly why he's invoking this mechitza shel barzel. So the term iron curtain was coined by whomever, out there. But the Rebbe is using it there too. And now it's 1960. This is already this is decades after communism. Don't even know what a mitzvah is. And the Rebbe is stirring it, investing in, no words here, but it's happening. That he pierces the heart of every year that makes this opening, and makes this opening so that Hashem's stirring will come and be felt by every Jewish heart. And moreover, he doesn't just make it available by having this engraved opening, where if you want to do tshuva, it's there for you. But more than that, he sends forth his hand through the opening and helps us. It's not just there for you, notwithstanding, overriding the protests of Seder Shtalshalus, but rather, this is the assistance and the help that comes. Shenimshach, that is drawn gamlemi, even to him. Shenimtze maimed the matzav the pashantet is kainti. I've removed my garment. He doesn't even know how. How could he possibly put on the garment? Nonetheless, sends forth his hand. And this affects Kasim Makosev as the pasuk that concludes. I'm going to get a photocopy of these pasukim tomorrow. Look at it. Umeyai homoloi, and my inner stir to him. That's the neshama. And now he's going to explain the union of the innards that stir as a result of Hashem sending forth his hand. It's Hashem tomorrow. Now the story.